Greetings everyone. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the most easiest and most detailed method on how to make a Milkmaid gown with a corset underbust and a V-shape half length. If you have not watched the drafting aspect of this video, kindly follow the link in the description box for a detailed understanding. I've gone ahead to cut out the down part and I added ½ inch to the top to the down and 1 inch to the side. I cut this on fold and I have 2 pieces of this. I've gone ahead to iron paper stay on the wrong part of this. I'll be explaining why I need 2 pieces of this as we proceed in the video. For the upper bust part, I went ahead to cut it out using my bust measurement, not divided by 2, but my exact bust measurement. I placed it on fold, placed my pattern on the edge of it, cut out my armhole, placed the top part on 1 inch fold, and I added ½ inch to the down, and this was the cut out for the front Milkmaid effect. All right, just cut out your bust measurement, don't divide by 2 even though it's just half piece of the front. So for the back piece, I cut it out, adding ½ inch all around but 1 inch on the zipper allowance and on the side. I notched my armhole so I'll not mistake it for the back neckline. So this is for the gather and this is for the sleeve. So quickly, let's go to our sewing machine. So I'll go ahead to unpin my front bust pattern piece, and the first thing I will want to do is to place my elastic on this point, place it on fold like this, making sure that my machine does not stitch on the elastic. I'll go ahead to make a tube with my elastic in it as I sew straight down. If you know that this method will be hard for you, kindly make your tube first, then you can use broom or anything to pass in your elastic. So when I'm done, I'm just going to pull my elastic to be equal to my desired neck width. My desired neck width is 10 inches. Make it the exact 10 inches. By the time you are done stitching ½ inch on the both side, you are going to be left with 9, and plus the elastic would still stretch. So just make it the exact 10 inches that you need. So I'll go ahead to cut it out at that point, and I'm going to top stitch it with a double stitching so that the elastic does not pull out. Before you start making any gather, you make sure that your machine stitch control is on the last part so that it can give you a very loose stitch, and you can also go ahead to loosen this part of your machine as well so you can also have a loose stitch. But while you are losing this, make sure you count how many times you loosened it so that you can tie it appropriately when you are done losing it. So next, on the down part, you are going to be running a loose stitch to make your gather. You run it on an ½ inch stitch away from the down all the way to the other side. Remember not to back stitch at the start or the end of this stitch. To make your gather stitch, you are going to pick out a thread out of your sewn stitch, and you are going to pull it very carefully. As you pull, any fullness you get, you are going to push it to the other side. You do this carefully so that your thread does not break off, but just in case your thread breaks off in the process, you will have to start all over again. So you're going to draw your gather stitch all the way, and you make sure that you spray the fullness of your gather to be even all around. When you are done doing this, you should ensure that the down part of this your bust area should be equal to your under bust measurement plus 1 inch. Next, we are going to move to the under bust V-shape corset like effect. I've gone ahead to iron this to get my center line. So first, I'll go ahead to mark my first line on the center straight down like this. Then I'll go ahead to mark out my bust span measurement divided by 2 like so. And I'll be marking the half of it on the down part. I'll go ahead to connect the 2 mark points together. To be able to mark out the same thing on the second side, I'll place this on fold, and I'm going to notch out the marked line on the second side, open this up, and I'm going to connect the 2 points together. So this is it. I went ahead to cut a long band. The width of this band is 1.5 inches wide. For the length, you can make it as long as you want. The next thing to do, you are going to place this on fold like so, and you are going to sew it straight up on the line first. When you are done sewing, do not trim out the excess of your stitch, but instead you flip the other end to cover up the excess very neatly. Leaving the excess in it would give it a firm and a bone-like look. So I'll go ahead to repeat the same method and fix the other style lines. So yeah, I am done with this. I'm going to take my gathered bust point, notch the center as well, place the both centers together, and I'm going to be sewing this together straight up. When you are done sewing this, you are going to take the second piece of the underbust and the half length, place it right side facing the bust area like so, and you are going to stitch it following your first stitch line like this. When you are done, this is to give you a neat look on the wrong part of your dress. So I'll go ahead to top stitch this following the shape all around on the corners. For the back piece, be careful not to mistake the armhole for the back neckline. I'll use bias, placing it on the right side. I'll use it to turn up the neckline. For the dart intake, I use a 0.5 inch intake, and for the dart height, it is 5 inches upward, and I placed it on my bust band measurement divided by 2 plus half of an inch. When I'm done with the dart, I'll place this on the front side, and I'm going to go ahead to shape this accurately using my body measurements, and I'll do the same thing for the second side. So when you are done shaping the side, for the sleeve, you are going to be fixing an elastic on the top part and on the down part. Like I said, your elastic should be 1 inch less than your actual measurement so that it will not be too tight for your clients. I've gone ahead to fix my elastic at the top part and at the down part. I've also closed the side of the sleeve. I'm going to be taking the upper piece and I'm going to place my sleeve on it. I'll place the side of the sleeve on the side of my dress, and I'm going to join it from the top part to the other end. While joining this, if you experience or you get any excess, just fold it in to create extra fullness on your extra large sleeve. I have gone ahead to make the gather of the down part, and when you make your gather for the down part, make sure that your gather is up to your waist circumference plus 1 inch for your zipper allowance. So I'll go ahead to notch the center of my gather, and I'll place the center of my gather on the center of my upper bodice, and I'm going to go ahead to sew this following the V-shape effect and going all the way to the back. Please take note that your gather fullness is spread evenly so that one part of your gather will not be scanty and the other full, and ensure that it is equal to your waist circumference plus 1 inch so that you will not have to lose and do it again. So when I'm done fixing my gather all around, I'm going to measure 6 inches from my half length and I'm going to sew it straight down. Your zip is expected to stop at most 7 inches from your half length. So I'll go ahead to fix in my zipper following my zipper allowance line. For the rope on the chest, I cut out a band that is 1.5 inches wide. The length should be as long as you want. To make out the rope, you're going to place it on fold first. Then on the open mouth of the fold, you place it on the fold midway. Then you use the closed part to conceal it. Please just watch what I'm doing and you will understand better. I'll go ahead to top stitch this on the edge of the rope with a tiny stitch all the way to the other end. When you are done with the rope, you are going to knot the end of the rope, and if you have any rough tip, you go ahead to trim it out or you bone it up. To fix this to your Milkmaid, you are going to stretch out the fabric to distribute the fullness of the gather all around. Then you get the center after distributing the fullness equally so that one part will not be fuller than the other. You mark out the center and you place your rope on that point and you top stitch it there. When you are done top stitching, you can go ahead to tie your rope in any fancy way as you want. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next ready to wear tutorial. Bye.